Hi guys, it's Chantel and today I'm going to talk about 10 more items that we no longer buy since simplifying our lives. So I made one of these videos back at the start of the year. I will pop the link up here if anybody is interested, and it was really well received and it is a very popular video, so I thought I would make another one as I managed to think of 10 more items that we no longer purchase. We decided to make 2018 the year that we aim to simplify our lives, simplify our home, to spend less money, to be more conscious of where we spend money, and just to kind of like live life more meaningfully and more intentionally for us. So these are kind of 10 items that we no longer purchase at all really, or we only purchase if we really have to replace the ones we have. Number one is excess kitchen gadgets. We really do not have need for anything in our kitchen at the moment. We do not have a ridiculous amount of kitchen gadgets and kitchen items. If you haven't seen my kitchen declutter, I will pop it up here for you guys. But there are a few like larger scale kitchen items that we actually use. Anything that we found we were only using once or twice a year, we let go of. So we just thought it wasn't worth it. We had a steamer which we never really used, so we got rid of that. And all the like smaller kitchen gadgets, like stuff for coring and stuff for cutting specific vegetables or fruit, it's just not worth having them when you can just do the job with a knife. So we've gotten rid of a lot of those and we don't buy them. It's just easier not to because they just take up room, they take up space, they clutter up your kitchen. So just get rid of them and don't purchase them. Number two is multiple cleaning products. Now, I don't pretend to use eco cleaning products. I'm very sorry. And I don't make my own cleaning products. But we use very few different cleaning products. We tend to try and use the same one to clean multiple areas of our house, so we're not having to purchase and store multiple different cleaning products. We tend to use antibacterial cleaning wipes to clean the majority of our house. I know they are not great for the environment at the moment, and in the future I will be looking into finding a better version or something more eco-friendly, but as a parent, I want things to be antibacterially cleaned. I want them to be safe environment for a small person. And I also need the ease and just time sensitiveness that using an antibacterial wipe gives. So I'm sorry if that is not great for some people, but the whole point is that we're trying to reduce the number of different products we have. So we use antibacterial wipes for the majority of the downstairs. We use bleach and wipes to clean our bathroom. And then John has a specific one that he uses for our wooden floors. And that is it. We don't really use anything else. Oh no, we have a glass cleaner. I'm sorry, we also have a glass cleaner. But we don't have like specific products for other places. We just use the same ones throughout our house to save having to buy any excessive cleaning products. We also don't tend to buy branded cleaning products because the supermarket own are exactly the same. They do the same job. So I don't see the point in paying the extra for branded cleaning supplies. The only time we buy a more expensive product is actually for our wooden floors. We like the Method wooden floor, which is an eco-friendly one as far as I know. And I will be looking to change over to Method for our bathroom. That's the next job for us really. But we try to keep as few cleaning products as possible. Number three is single-use batteries. If you saw my declutter video doing the living room storage declutter, I will pop the link up here for you guys, you will have seen our battery charging station. Now obviously normal households do not have battery charging stations, but when you are a photographer and also probably YouTubers or videographers, you tend to go through a lot of batteries and you have to charge them all the time. But even batteries elsewhere in our house that have nothing to do with our businesses. So remote controls and kids' toys, we do not use single-use batteries. We haven't, I don't remember the last time we bought single-use batteries ever, actually. We have always been rechargeable people, so pay a little extra for those rechargeable batteries and simply reuse them as many times as you can. It is so much easier, more cost effective, more eco-friendly to keep reusing your batteries if you can do it. Over time, they will degrade slightly and they won't charge as well. You will find that, I'm sorry, it's just the way it goes, and you will have to replace them at some point, but the amount that you have not purchased in that time is huge. Single-use clothing items, or clothing that is bought purely for a specific event. I used to be very guilty of this. You know, if you had a ball or a wedding, you would buy a new outfit for that event, and the likelihood is that you wouldn't wear it again, or maybe you'd use it once again. So I no longer do this. I do not purchase single-use clothing items. Granted, I don't really need to attend balls these days. Very rarely do I attend a ball as a guest. I sometimes attend them as a photographer, but I don't attend them as guests very often. So I have a few dresses that aren't full ball gowns, but they are evening-ish dresses, but that I can use multiple times. So I tend to wear them for any evening social event, so it gets reused multiple times. I'm also not the kind of person that worries about wearing the same item to a social event. So the fact that I have to attend 3 weddings this year, I will happily wear the same dress to the 3 weddings. I don't believe in just wearing it once because you can't wear it to somebody else's wedding if you've worn it to this one. So I do not buy single-use clothing items. I think if I had a ball that I had to attend and it was like a proper formal full-length ball, my first thing would be to see if I could borrow it from a friend, or to buy one second-hand. If I really, really had to have a full-length ball gown, I would probably see if I could buy one second-hand, because people do only wear them once or twice, and then they either just store them in their wardrobes or they sell them on. So you can quite often get evening dresses that have been almost barely used. So either online, on eBay, or on Facebook selling groups, or to find dress agencies. You can find dress agencies occasionally in certain cities where they specifically sell on evening wear or wedding attire at a much, much reduced cost. If you buy through a dress agency, wear it and then return it to the dress agency and make some of your money back on it. Number 5 is concert or show merchandise. This is something I am hugely, hugely guilty of, but I made the change last year in regards to this. I still currently own a program for every concert, show, theatre production that I have seen since I was 12. Yeah, take that in. Also bearing in mind that I am a massive theatre fan. So that kind of tells you that my collection is quite large, and through my teens and my early 20s, I took pride in this. It was something that I enjoyed collecting. I collected programs and I kept my ticket stubs and attached them inside the inside cover, so I have the date when the programs were bought. I have signatures on a few programs as well, and it was something that did give me joy. But then we moved into this house, we moved back from Cardiff, and it went into storage and they never came out of storage. And it is one of the things that through this whole decluttering and minimalism journey I have been on, that I have come to the conclusion that I no longer want, I no longer need in my life, and I am ready to part with it. So when I start my attic declutter, guys, which I know a few of you cannot wait for me to start, that will be one of the boxes I will show you that I will pull out and I will be parting with. Like I said, if it gives you joy at the time and it is something that you genuinely are interested in and like, then I'll go for it. You know, if it's something you really, really want to do. but I haven't actually bought a program now for well over 2 years. Be proud of me. So it is something we no longer buy. We don't go to a lot of concerts, sadly, but I still go to shows occasionally, and I will be starting to take Ellie into shows soon, and we will not be buying programs or merch. I have a few merch t-shirts that I've had from concerts over the years, and I do use them to sleep in. So that is what they are used for, but I no longer buy any because they are expensive, really expensive. They are a waste of money, and they do just take up space, because quite often with merchandise t-shirts, you don't wear them. You really, really don't. So it's kind of pointless having them. So this is the next one. This is hairstyling products. Now, I know for a lot of people, this might not be something that is very optional. If you have crazy, frizzy, curly, untamable hair, then you might not have a choice to not use hairstyling products. But as you can see, I didn't even straighten this. This is Chantal's natural hair. This is what it does. It's straight and it doesn't do anything. So I am very lucky in that sense. But I don't buy any hairstyling products at all. I don't own any hairstyling products at all. So I wash it. I very occasionally condition it. And the only product that I think I put on it occasionally, which I actually have with me weirdly because it was in my rucksack, is dry shampoo. That is the only product I have for my hair, is dry shampoo. And that is only used for if I get up in the morning and I need to rush out with the kid and my hair doesn't look great, a bit of dry shampoo can work wonders. So that's kind of the only thing I have. So I don't use hairsprays or hair gels or mousses or anything that I can rub into it, nothing like that. This also goes for styling products, like electrical items. I own a hairdryer. I do own a straighteners, and my mother bought me a curling wand, which is actually still in the box. I should really break it out and like test it out, but it is still in the box. But I don't kind of believe you have to own a million different hair electrical items. You really, really don't. In most cases, you can do most things with a straighteners and a hairdryer. Like I said, I don't even straighten my hair. It just looks like this. The only time I use the straighteners is if we are going to a formal event in an evening and I want to curl my ends under. That is the only time I use the straighteners. So yeah, and I could probably do that with a hairdryer and a curling brush if I had the skills or the energy to do it. So yeah, no, we don't buy hair products. John doesn't style his hair either. He doesn't put anything in it. So his just looks like that. It doesn't need styling. So if you do not need to use hairstyling products, then don't buy them. The next one is cut flowers. Now, you will have seen my home at some point in some of my videos. I do have succulents and cactuses, and I also have a few orchids, but they're all potted plants, so they last a long time if you look after them. I've had my orchids now for 3 years. I've kept them alive for 3 years, the ones in my hallway, and John recently bought me a new one for our kitchen for Mother's Day this year. So I do not buy cut flowers. Yes, they can look beautiful, but I think they're a big waste of money. They last maybe 2 weeks if you're lucky, and then they die, and they look ugly while they're dying. So it's not something that we have in our home. Very, very occasionally, if I get bought them by somebody else, you may see them in my home. John did buy me some for Mother's Day, so I did have some up for a few days, but it is not something that I personally spend money on. I know lots of people go to the supermarket on their weekly shop and always buy cut flowers. My mother is one of them. They always buy cut flowers, and I just don't see the point in cut flowers when you could buy a plant and just keep it alive and have a beautiful flower in your house. If you want the colour and the life in your house, then buy a plant, people. Buy a plant, don't buy cut flowers. It just is pointless. The next one is unusual cooking ingredients. I like to cook, I like to try out new recipes, but when I find a recipe that's got some random spice in it or some random cooking oil in it that I don't have in my store cupboard and I've never seen used in another recipe, then the likelihood is I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy a cooking ingredient for the purpose of one use. It is a waste of money, a waste of space, a waste of my effort going to look for the product in the first place. I have had this occasionally when they've said you need this spice and I've gone looking for it, and actually you can't get it in a supermarket like normally. Even though the recipe was in Tesco's magazine, you couldn't actually buy it in Tesco's. Anyway, I try not to purchase unusual cooking ingredients which I don't think I'm going to be able to use up to use all of them in other recipes. I just don't find it's a worthwhile use of my money. So what I will often try and do is Google search and see what you can use as a replacement. So if it asks for a specific spice, just search replacement for whatever spice, and quite often you'll find people who are recommending other more common spices that you can use in place of that spice. Yes, the taste might not be exactly the same, but quite often it will give you a similar outcome. So I try to do that wherever possible if it's a more unusual item that I just don't think I'm going to be using up. The next one is souvenirs from travel. Now, when I was a kid, I collected pin badges, and I bought pin badges back from every trip I took to anywhere. This is what I used to do. And I had them all around a pin board, which I think I still have somewhere, but I haven't actually been collecting souvenirs for a while. So we tend not to buy stuff when we go away. We don't buy fridge magnets or like key rings or pens, nothing like that. We try not to. If we are traveling somewhere more interesting, so for instance, we honeymooned in China, we try to find something to bring back for our home, but not like a tourist souvenir. We try to find something that represents that country. So quite often we try to look for a handmade product or something from kind of like the area that we go to that's specific to there, something that's like handmade by a local craftsperson, not a mass-produced souvenir. I don't have a problem with bringing back something that's more unique, more interesting than a tourist souvenir. Or the other thing we try to bring back is actually a Christmas decoration. So we picked up, in China there is a tradition in a certain place we visited where they put these small silk embroidered decorations with ribbons coming off them. They put them in trees as prayer, like mementos type of things, and they were selling them off in this location. They're all handmade and hand stitched, and we brought one back for our Christmas tree. So we get to see it every year, but it's not something that hangs around our house, but it still keeps that memory of that place. So we kind of try to bring back items that have more meaning to them, really. We don't bring back tourist, mass-produced type of stuff, if that makes sense. On to the last one, which is stationery items. Again, if you saw the living room declutter, you will have seen my big box of postcards and writing materials and gift cards and my pens. So I do not need stationery items. Me and John do not need to purchase any sort of writing paper or pens or note cards or thank you cards or anything like that. We just don't need to purchase it. No, we just don't need to because we have enough. So I will not be purchasing any until I use up everything I've got, which is probably going to take me a while. The only stationery items we buy are envelopes for our business, which, you know, there's nothing we can do about that. We have to send people, you know, their photos. So we kind of have to purchase those. But for personal use, we do not purchase any stationery products at the moment because we have enough. and it is one of those things that I will no longer be just like randomly stocking up on. I will simply wait until we are finished with what we have, and then I can purchase some more. So guys, that is my 10 more things I no longer buy since doing our simplifying our life journey and our minimalism journey. Please do let me know what it is you no longer buy, if you no longer buy some of the things I mentioned, or if there is something else specific that you don't buy anymore, or if you're trying not to buy any more of. I would love to chat to you guys. Please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe and join the little Life Sorted community. We are growing fast and I love it. I love to talk to you guys, and please do talk to each other down in the comments. Let's start a discussion. That's what all these things are about. And it's nice to know that there are other people who are trying to simplify their lives and just live a little bit more intentionally, but very, very happily. So I will see you guys again soon. Bye.